asked him about it. I was like, oh, what's the deal with that? Because you pull out, it's like, is it a trick? And he's like, no, you pull it out, and as long as you're holding your hand above your heart, it doesn't bleed for a little bit. He's like, but then when you put your hand down, obviously it bleeds because you have fucking a hole through your hand. I was like, oh, Jesus. I was like, that's not much of a trick. That's messed up.
But one of the things that he showed us was there was a guy that was famous back in the day for putting swords through his body. The guy would run
Like the whole way.
Mm-hmm, the whole way through
like
his
a really,
organs.
really narrow sword?
Yeah, a small, but they got progressively larger as
Until
he got more
progressively deader.
Is that how he died? Do you remember, Jamie?
I feel like that's how it ended up going. He got cocky.
Yes, he got cocky.
Dude.
I think.
Or he
Like
sneezed halfway through and just like lacerated.
Eventually made his way to like a broadsword size. It was really weird to see though, because there's video of this guy, and there's photos. Video? Is there video?
I got video of it here.
There's video. Yeah, this guy slid like right through his organs.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So look at this.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, they just puncture his lung with a fucking sword. I mean, this is not a trick.
This is when you watch action movies and people get shot or stabbed a bunch of times, and you're like, that's so unrealistic. He'd be dead. Like when you watch John Wick, and he gets
Right.
shot like 27 times. You're like, apparently people can actually take quite a beating and just keep going.
Or they can get one small. Look
Oh,
at they're going right through
jeez.
this, right through his fucking.
Dude.
yeah,
Oh my
right through
Jesus
his organs.
Christ.
And look how he just sits there.
And
I
who's
guess-
who's this doctor who's like good enough to poke a sword straight through him?
It's not really a doctor.
Well, but he must be he'd be an incredible. Maybe he works in a deli. Like
What
a
year
really
is
really
this,
good
Jamie?
like meat
Does it
chopper.
say what year this is? What are the things on his forearms, by the way? Oh, now he's going into an X-ray machine to make sure that. So this guy had scars all over his body from the times that he did this.
Dude.
Yeah, yikes! That's a fucking fairly thick blade, like definitely bigger than a pencil.
That.
Look at the doctor's examining it. Looks good, and now he's going to eat.
Except it's all gonna fall out the hole.
Yeah, it's gonna score it out. That's a hard-looking man. Imagine having a conversation with that dude. I bet he has a very weird way of looking at things.
Dude.
He died at 36. That guy looked.
Oh, well, there you go.
that
He
guy
looked
didn't
like he
look
was
36.
50 already.
He looks
Full
really
of holes.
I wonder how painful that is. I mean, it's got to be
Painful
pretty
as
painful.
fuck.
Yeah, you would
There's-
assume.
How could it not
Yeah,
be?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
fucking piercing your ear is painful.
I've never pierced my ear. Too afraid.
That's hilarious. You're too afraid to
No,
pierce your ear.
Well, no, I just don't want a hole in my ear.
So did he die from that, Jamie?
I'm double checking on how he died. Yeah.
You need like a team of researchers that you're just like pulling up, checking facts.
I
on
know.
this
It's
stuff.
all Jamie one-handed Googling.
Yeah.
Like a wizard.
He moved to Switzerland and was granted a license to perform without the ability to speak to the public. I don't know. That sounds strange.
A
Yeah.
license to perform without the ability to. Oh, maybe like if you performed, you had to talk to people.
Like they had mimes back then, though. No.
Maybe you had to break character,
I don't know,
or
it's
they get
weird.
mad at you.
But that seems like so maybe he couldn't say. He was like, "Ow, it hurts," and they're like, "Shh." I don't know. Like this is
Well,
so silly to even have a
to
thing
be
like
fair,
that.
the act is less inspiring if the guy screams in pain the whole time, because then nobody
True.
wants to watch.
Right? Yeah. I mean, if the same guy doing the same thing, screaming like he's being tortured, that would be sick.
I mean, it'd be the same for David Blaine. Like when you
Yeah.
watch the David stuff, it's like if you were putting an ice pick through his arm and he was just like if he was just sobbing the whole time, you'd be like, I don't want to watch this.
I wouldn't do it.
It's
I'd
like
I'd stop.
It says in 1948 he was alleged he was instructed by voices to eat a steel needle, and 2 days later, it was surgically removed. I don't know. I think he got cocky.
It's fair to say that he might have some
Very
weird things
confusing.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably trying to kill himself and couldn't believe kept surviving.
Yeah, he was laying on a bed. They didn't. I guess they didn't know he was dead, and then they finally got a doctor to check him. Turns out he'd already been dead for a day. Yeah, it sounds a little.
Jesus Christ.
We need like 3 more research interns like googling his whole scene as fast as they can, because they're like, wait, none of that makes any sense.
And this was because of swallowing a needle.